High Performance Coach. Today we're talking about how to advance your projects and life quicker. Real quick, if you're joining me for the first time, say hi below, where you're from, and of course, wherever you're watching this video, if you have any questions, post it below and I'll get back to you as soon as I see it, probably shortly after this broadcast. So, the purpose of Start Your Day with Your Coach is to get grounded in high performance, which is consistently beating what's ever normal in your life without burning out. Or, burnout is destroying relationships that are important to you or your health. So we don't want that. And today's question is, how can we get you advancing even quicker, right? And I got 3 quick questions for you that you can ask that might help unlock something, because sometimes when you've been doing something for a long time, so if you're in the same career, you're doing the same things in your hobbies, you practice the same scale on your guitar, for example, we can get stuck. You can plateau. And when we stop feeling that sense of progress, and we're not getting that sense of progress maybe as quickly as we could, that's when we feel like we stall out. That's when we feel like we're in a rut. So how can we defeat that feeling where you just feel like you're in a rut and you don't know how to move forward? Well, it's probably in these 3 questions. So, I've, in my business, it's been about over a year now since I went full-time into coaching, and I have done some great work with clients, trying to think about what are my next steps for having a bigger reach, for impacting more folks, for delivering the great value that I know that coaching has for people. Because when people report back with my clients or with this program overall over tens of thousands of folks, out of a scale of 1 to 10, we get a 9.4 in satisfaction from it, meaning that we deliver on the breakthroughs that help people get to that next level. So, I know that it's super important to be consistently advancing and getting to that next place, wherever it is for you in your career, health, personal life, or relationships, to have that sense of progress. So, and we have the high performance science to back that up. All right, so how can we advance even quicker towards one of our big goals? The first question that I have for you today, folks, is what would you need to stop or start doing to do whatever your goal is in half the time? So if you're like, well, I'm going to, change jobs in 4 months, like what would you need to be doing now to make that 2 months, to get into the game sooner? Or maybe you're, hey, I want to launch this new product in my business, and I'm going to do it in a year, right? What would you have to start and stop right now to get that done in 6 months, right? And the concept's pretty simple. Those are some particular examples. Or if you're like, hey, I'm trying to, get my time down on my 1 mile. Like, how, if you have it tracked out, how can you do that in half the time? So a couple of quick examples. And I really love this question because it gets you thinking about how you're, what you're doing, especially things if you've been doing them consistently, it kind of shakes it up and say, like, how can I do this a little bit differently? How can I do the tweaks that'll get me a little bit more progress, right? And I think, for me at least, having that process of doing the tweaks is a lot of fun. So that's why I really love this question. The second question I have for you is, what should you focus on, or could you focus on, to get the biggest amount of momentum for the least amount of effort, right? And so this is essentially doing that portrayal method, which is the 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of your results will come from 20% of the action that you're doing, or 20% of the activity. So if you can consistently be cutting down to what really matters, what's getting me the most bang for my buck for the effort that I'm putting in, especially when it comes to momentum towards building the life that you want or building your ideal career, then something magical happens when you can do that consistently. And you're consistently thinking okay, what's getting me the most results? How can I focus on that more and less on things that don't really matter or are not as impactful. So I really love that question, and Tim Ferriss does a lot of, and I think he wrote a bunch of books based on that principle. So check out like the 4-Hour Workweek, 4-Hour Chef, that kind of stuff, to get a great example of that. The third question I have for you is, who can you enlist to help you advance that thing, whatever your goal is, career-wise, personal-wise, even quicker? So sometimes we need to find an expert or a mentor that has been there before that can help us be, course correct before we realize we need to. So it's like, hey, you could do that thing in the software program, right? You could organize it in this way, but you're going to run into these issues. Try it this way, right? And so you have that different perspective. Sometimes it's just more hands, if you're doing a lot of admin stuff that's not really helping you advance your business, maybe it's time to hire that personal assistant, or maybe it's time to hire that marketing manager, maybe it's time to hire that whatever, right? That can take care of some things that, take up a lot of time, aren't really advancing the business, and freeing you up to focus on those times. And so that's, a really powerful thing, and I think a lot of folks that I've encountered struggle with that because that means delegation, and that can be scary to kind of give up some of that power, some of that control. So, okay, 3 questions again to help you advance even quicker are: what would you need to stop or start doing to do it in half the time? What should you focus on to see the biggest amount of momentum with the smallest amount of effort? And then, who can you enlist to help you move things along even quicker, right? Pretty simple, common sense stuff, but common sense is not always common practice, as my mentor Brendan always says. So I'll leave you with that. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. I want to let you know too, if you like these types of questions and you're thinking like, how else can I advance even quicker towards my goals? There's a link either in the bio on Instagram or below this video, wherever you're watching it, that will link you to a video that I made for you for free that talks about the 5 pillars of high performance and gives you some more questions to kind of help you think through like, how can I, advance quicker? How can I really, get more clear in my life, or have more energy, or speak up and express myself even more boldly? Or how can I be really productive or have more influence, right? So we talk about that. That's at seanbutler.com/achieve. So the link again is either in the bio on Instagram or below where you're watching this video. So there you go. With that, guys, go out there, have more joy in your life, feel more personal growth, and have a greater impact in your communities. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.